Welcome and good morning from wherever you are around the world. Again, I trust as always that your week and your life is fantastic. So I've just been doing a beach run along Burleigh and Nobby's Beach and just ducked in a little alcove here down on the water's edge and wanted to talk to you about the things that you see in the world around you and how you respond, how you react to things, and what nature causes and humanity causes and reacts and responds and interacts with. So before I do that, I just want to give you a little look as what's going on around me and has been happening in the past 2 or 3 weeks. So Australia, as you may or may not have been aware, has experienced its worst fire disasters, and the fire disasters that have been recorded as possibly being the worst in the world as for destruction of acreage, of vegetation and of wildlife and of lives lost and buildings destroyed and scope of area that this took place on, and responses and prayers and thoughts and donations were extended from celebrities to humanity groups to aggregate groups and coordinations and businesses who wanted to recognize that this is extremely serious and is destroying the world that we live in and live on and that we interact with. And over the past 2 weeks, as much as everyone's prayed for rain, there has been solid rain here in Queensland, and some of the heaviest downpours and heaviest recorded water measurements in the history that I've been here in the country for 20 years. So let me just show you what's going on behind me or in front of me. So these weather patterns, as they've been changing, has been causing some cyclones offshore, and all of the beaches along the Gold Coast region are closed because of the extremely high king tide. So this area doesn't normally get wet up here. You can walk around this whole point. So nature is responding. There's been fires, there's been rain, now we've got heavy seas and storms and winds. So what do these things look like and mean for you in your personal life, as well as nature as it's responding and as you interact with it? So the things that go on around us aren't always caused by ourselves, and we can't always, as much as we might think that we want to or think we have the capacity to, can bring about many things in our life. Yet not everything is a cause of what we do, think, believe or say. So as these things happen to us, how does it impact the direction that you have, the progress that you want to make, the mindset, the intentions, the plans, the goals, and the things that you deem to be important to your life when they're disrupted by things that are outside of your control? And Mother Nature certainly is that. Now if you look at what Mother Nature does, there's a refresh position. The fires at times are caused by farmers or brought about with an intention to clear a certain area so that it can be put to better use. It's not saying that all fires are, but when you look at that, this raising of certain vegetation to clear certain areas and then harrow up the ground so that it can become more fertile and be used for crops or parks or recreation, there is an end purpose to it. So maybe Mother Nature has that in mind as well, and we've seen that through different countries where there have been natural fires that have been caused because the humidity and the extreme temperatures have made the ground and the vegetation a tinderbox that has been naturally sparked. So nature has its way of clearing ground to make way for new growth, and that's what happens after every fire. There's new growth, and that new growth is for a new cycle. Then we look at the rain, with the intense rain. Well, what does the rain do? Well, the rain cleanses the earth. It's Mother Nature's way of bathing the earth and refreshing it, and certainly to nourishing the ground with much needed water so that this new growth can accelerate and take place as it's been designed to do. Then we've got storms. Well, how do storms and cyclones and tornadoes and other natural disasters, how do they fit into the cycle? You know, at times, if you're in business there's a challenging situation that you hadn't prepared for. As much as you've addressed your contingencies and your risk mitigation exercises, there's a situation that arises that comes from left field you have no control over. Well, how do you respond? How flexible, how agile are you? And if you hadn't thought of that, then I'm going to ask you to put that into your plan of action or your next reviews. In your personal lives, there's injuries. I've had those at numerous amateur and professional athletes have these injuries and they don't plan on them. They disrupt our pattern, they disrupt our season, they disrupt our activity and our enjoyment, but it's an opportunity for us to refresh. So as I consider these things, I ask you to look at what is impacting your life, and if you don't have control over it, what are you intending to learn from it? How do you prepare yourself so that this becomes a lesson of preparation for the next time that you might face a situation that comes from left of centre, from left of field? How are you likely to, and what will you do to prepare to change? If you keep meeting the same challenges in the same way, then the outcome's going to be the same. And Einstein's already defined that insanity definition for us quite clearly. So I think we know what's involved in that. Not many people take the time to. So I'm going to ask you, at whatever time frame you deem is appropriate for you, weekly is not going to give you enough time to implement change. So it might be bi-monthly, it might be quarterly, it might be semi-annually. But I'm going to encourage you to look for a refresh, not a reset position back to zero, but a refresh position of where you are, what your intentions are, what your values are, what your beliefs are, what your behaviours, your thoughts, words and actions that bring about the results and outcomes in your life. Refresh and see that you're on the right direction and that things that are going to impact your life from what you haven't prepared for, you become a little more resilient in and in facing, because you've considered that where you are is the right way, you are on the right path, and though you're experiencing these things, they're not because you're on the wrong path, but they're part of the lesson that you need to grow from in the course and journey that you've selected for yourself. And as always, now that we have the sun out, live, love and serve.